Welcome back to a very packed show on Where Robins Walk. This week, have the fans turned on Fally? And if they have, is it fair or unfair? We'll get the panel's view on that. They're asking them to pick their December Player of the Month. We've asked AI to look at Bristol City's home games and predict how many points they're going to pick up. Do you agree with what they say? Stay to the end for that. And we're making in January, because it's the worst month, the worst Bristol City side from the Championship era, starting with goalkeeper. So who's the worst goalkeeper Bristol City have had in that period? And there's a few I'm sure you'll be able to drop into the comments and let us know about. We've got Sam, Ben, Liam and Ethan is back with us. Hope you're all well, fellas. You were freezing your backsides off, of course, at the weekend watching the FA Cup. So credit to you if you braved that game. It wasn't brilliant, Sam, but did we learn anything?
Yeah, we learned. We just got to go right from the start. I mean, that first 25 minutes, 30 minutes of the game, we just showed Wolves too much respect, let them play their football, and it cost us severely. You know, they, for supposedly one of the worst sides in the Premier League, they showed a different gulf between a Championship and Premiership. I mean, second half, we come into it, we matched them, but it was the first 25 minutes what done it.
Yeah, Ben, do you agree with that? Does it highlight the stark contrast between mid-table Championship and second-string Premier League?
Yeah, definitely. I think it shows that we can be capable of matching them, but we have to play at our very, very best. And if we're off it just a little bit, then even a lower league Premier League team are just going to capitalise on us. But I think it shows that we can be capable at times, and we can play against teams like that. But we can't afford starts like that. Definitely.
Okay, we'll come and talk about Fally in a minute, Liam. But who did anybody impress for you?
Not overly, if I'm completely honest. I don't think anyone really shone yesterday. It's hard to pick a single player. I think Bird made a bit of a difference when he came on. But yeah, there was nothing really to shout about yesterday. Like Sam said, the first 25 minutes, it was like we didn't even bother coming out. They were very quick out of the traps. I will say that the goals were our own downfall. They didn't really carve us open. It was down to poor defending and poor marking that they scored their goals. But when the second went in, I personally thought, how many are we going to lose by today? So yeah.
Cheers for that, Liam. Ethan, one player which people were saying was about the Scott Twine, and saying that he's the best dead ball specialist they've seen in decades down at Ashton Gate. Do you agree?
I've not quite seen decades, but he's certainly probably one of the best I've seen down there. You know, maybe the likes of Jamie Patterson. Trying to think if there's a few more off the top of the head, but no, he's something special from set pieces, and all around the box. You fancy him every time he's got one. So yeah, no, he's something special.
Okay, let's get your views on this Fally thing then. So when he was substituted, Sam, there were apparently these ironic cheers, which is going to do no good for his confidence, is he? But as this tweet here says, Fally is stealing a living. Thought Twine was class. BCFC Home says fans that cheered the Wells sub should be embarrassed. Let's not forget it's the same Naki Wells that most wanted gone 5 months back. Unbelievably how quickly people can turn on players and how quickly they can win one back. Where do you stand now on Fally Mayulu?
Yeah, I'm a bit gutted, to be fair, because the first two games of the season he looked so promising, and I don't know where he stepped back in it. He just looks totally shot of confidence. I mean, to be fair to him, a lot of people criticising his running, but I was watching him for bits yesterday, and there was times he was peeling off the defenders, but the City players just don't seem to have the confidence to pass it to him. Like they know he isn't going to make the difference. But I want him to work. I want it to work for him, but I just can't see it at the moment.
Ben, is it harsh, the ironic cheers, and do you feel that as a fan base you probably want to help with his confidence doing things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm not a big fan of the cheering. I just don't think it's helping anyone. I know there's the argument that you want at least him to run, but I think he is trying. And maybe it's not showing so much to some fans, but he is trying. He's trying to make little runs here and there, but it's just not working for him. I think maybe 1 or 2 goals, all he needs, just to tap in. It's just all he needs. And his confidence will then shoot up. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of that. The kind of the ironic cheers. I just don't think it's helping anyone.
Okay. Ethan, what's your view on it?
I think even to cheer anyone off is pathetic, despite how bad they are or how bad they've been consistently. Don't see it when Harry Cornick comes on the third. He's not by any means a world beater, and see the whole S82 get behind him every time. And I think Mayulu's got all the assets to be a weapon, a proper number 9, old-fashioned number 9. But he's not gonna shine with no backing or no support. So yeah, got to get behind the lad.
Is it time for a loan now, Liam?
I would say yes, personally. I saw a lot of hate about him on Twitter or X yesterday after the game. The only thing I can say is that people said he's come from a different country, he has to adapt. I completely agree with that. I can 100%. But the ball's being played into him wasn't sticking at all yesterday. There was an instance in the first half. I think it was clear from a corner. It was all he had to do was trap it, lay it off, and we would have kept hold possession. But his first touch, it was like trapping a bag of cement. And there were people around me saying if that was well, to have held the ball, but at least got a foul possibly, but would have retained possession. And you could see as the game was going on yesterday, no one wanted to play the ball into him at all. There was just no confidence in him whatsoever. Personally, I think he just doesn't do enough. I know people allude about the service into him and all this sort of stuff, but he just doesn't. When he's not in possession, he's not pressing. You look at the difference between him and Wales. When Wales hasn't got the ball, he is harassing defenders. He is making movements. He's just being a nuisance. But I could play against Fally Mayulu and mark him out of the game. And I'm 5'6" and 15 stone nearly. He would be the easiest person to mark on a pitch. He's just not doing enough. So for that, yeah, I'd be looking at getting him out on loan for the rest of the season somewhere else.
Okay, just one more on this one. One of you already mentioned it a minute ago. Somerset Keith says, I'm not a Cornick fan, but how come he can't get a start ahead of Mayulu baffles me. And also why in a cup tie can't we abandon our process and put a centre back up front for the last 10 minutes and just try and score. Sam, are you a Cornick fan, and is he better than what Fally's giving at the moment?
To be fair, I've never been his biggest fan, but what he gives you is 110% commitment. He will just run, even if he can't get the ball, he will chase it down. And I would have personally given him a shout ahead of Fally yesterday.
Okay. All right. I had you down to win that. I thought Wolves were going to put out a second string, but yeah, baffling. Anyway, we move on. No one's too gutted about the FA Cup. It's been a bit of a washout, hasn't it, Ben? Really, the FA Cup, the magic has not really lit up. Certainly this round, has it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't something I was like overly excited for beforehand. And even if he'd have won, it's not quite the same effect, I don't think, anymore in the league. The league's definitely got more excitement. Well, for us anyway. I think it's the same with a lot of other clubs nowadays, but the league's definitely the main priority.
All right. And it's the league then which we'll turn our attentions to then, if that's okay. Coventry City then this weekend, Ethan. You've already played them, of course, already in the league and at Ashton Gate this season. Let's remind ourselves of what transpired. What transpired in that game? It was Tanner, wasn't it? Just at the stroke of half time that put you ahead, and then it had to be Casey Palmer, didn't it? Back in August, he's no longer at Coventry, is he? But so that's not going to happen again. But do you see what we compare the side that you played last time against Coventry, Ethan, and where are we now in terms of what's going to be different?
I think the team that faced Coventry, obviously here, they weren't as gelled as now. I feel like there's a lot more chemistry between the ranks as of now. I think there's some key players that are, of course, missing from that. You've got the likes of Sykes and Williams filling in rather than, putting Bird a bit deeper, getting another attacker on. You've still got Sinclair Armstrong there up top on his own. I think, the key thing is Bristol City have brought in better players that have gelled better. And, that's pretty much the lowdown.
Okay. Liam, what's noticeable for you from that 11 that was back there in August to what you've been watching recently?
Change of system is a big one. Obviously, we've had injuries to the likes of Williams, Sykes, Armstrong. Pring, he's not going to be available the weekend. Whether Dickie's recovered from illness or not, I don't know. Obviously, he missed out yesterday because of illness. But I think the change of system, that's the big key thing. And I think there's 3 or 4 players in that team that probably won't play next week. Obviously, Williams, as far as I'm aware, is still in. Sykes was on the bench yesterday. Didn't come on. Armstrong's still injured. And like I just said, Dickie, whether he's over his illness or not, will be a test to see what happens next week. Obviously, Pring's missing through injury as well. I think it's a change of system. It's worked in our favour. I think it offers us something a bit more of a threat going forwards at times. You could write yesterday off with the system. I think we were way too open for the likes of Wolves yesterday. I thought he might have gone for a 4 at the back yesterday rather than keeping it a 3. But it's the change of system that's going to be the different one. All right. This
goes. Sam, is a Frank Lampard Coventry City that you're playing this time. You played against a Mark Robbins side. Have you followed much of how they've been doing, and do you understand how Frank Lampard sets up? And on top of that, would you take a draw?
Yeah, to be fair, I see a lot of updates on Coventry through our friend Cardo quite a lot, but I think the way Lampard set his team up would be totally different to what Robbins does. But I think the CBS has normally been a good hunting ground for us. I mean, we nearly snatched a win there last season. I think we're going to go there and do it again.
Okay. All right, thanks for that. And let's look back at the December Player of the Month. We're now done in that month then, Ben. So give us your player that you think deserves the accolade.
I think it's got to be Mehmeti. He's been so kind of dynamic going forward. I think he's really shone. It's the best he's playing so far in our shirt. His goals and assists are kind of starting to become more what we hope they would be. And I think he just looks very dangerous. In fact, probably have him down as first, second name on the team sheet at the moment. He's always creating chances. And he's a real threat for us at the moment. So long may that continue.
Right. Who'd have thought we'd have said that a couple of months ago? Ethan?
Yeah, he's not been one of my favourite players. Sure Liam can agree with me on that one as well. But he's proved me wrong. I think he had a breakthrough game maybe a month ago or so now. And I captioned his Instagram, "You haven't seen the best of me yet." And ever since then, he's been pretty consistent. He's been backing up what he said, and I'm enjoying it. Long may it continue, because there seems to be a new streak of something in him. But it's getting the best out of him.
All right, let us know what you think in the comments below. Whilst you're also there, you can hit the subscribe button for us. We're looking for 100. We're nearly there. We need about another 20 or so to make our first 100. So can you help us do that? It would be massively, massively appreciate it. Thank you very much. Right then, we have asked AI to look ahead, Sam and Liam, at your next, or the last bit of set of home games, and predict your points. Let's have a look how it did. First of all, the run of home games. I mean, if you look at that, you've still got to play 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th. So, of all the teams, you've got a pretty tough run in at home, without any of the bottom 5 to come to Ashton Gate. Especially towards the end there, it gets very tough. AI have said that you will lose to Middlesbrough, Watford, West Brom, draw to Preston, Blackburn, and Swansea, and win the rest, and giving you a total of 12 points. from those 10 games. So to show perhaps you shouldn't just trust machines. Liam, how do you respond to that?
I don't think you can argue with it at times. I'd like to sit here and say we'll win them all, but I think that's been a bit too far-fetched. It's the teams in and around us I think we have to pick points with. Maybe drawing with Sunderland and Borough wouldn't be the end of the world. I think Blackburn would be quite a tough game as well. But the rest of them, I can't. It'd be interesting to see how Stoke get on under Robbins. I can't see the rest of them being massive problems. And Swansea don't seem to travel that well. They're better at home than they are away. West Brom could be a bit of banana skin. I'd take the 12 points that they're offering, but I think we should be aiming for more.
Okay.
Sam, if I said undefeated in those games.
Okay. Sam, if I said to you that you're only going to win 3 more home games all season, would you laugh at me?
100%. I think all of them are winnable, but then West Brom and Sunderland, I think, have been the tricky ones. I agree with AI with a draw against Preston because that's always a draw at Aston Gate. That's a foregone conclusion already. But we want to be beating these sides above us. If we are trying to achieve a place in the playoffs, this is the perfect fixtures for us to gain the points and them dropping the points.
Okay. All right, then. Let us know what you think. Is AI got that completely wrong? It has been known to before. And finally, this week, we're in the month of January. It's pretty rubbish. So what we thought we'd do is have a bit of a laugh on here, and over the next couple of weeks, come up with the people that you have laughed at in the stands. The worst starting 11 Bristol City could put together over the last 20 years of the Championship. We'll start in goal this week, if that's okay, and next week we'll move on to strikers. So let's go. Ben and Ethan, you've got a few less years on the other two, so we'll start at your end. Can you pick out someone that should go in the sticks for the worst Bristol City 11?
I think goalkeeper wise it's quite difficult. We haven't had many shockers. I think we've had a few interesting kind of reserve goalkeepers throughout the years. I think Nicky Manepa, the Finnish keeper, I believe. I think we had a few interesting goalkeepers from overseas. Yeah,
okay,
up there.
Sam, Liam.
Sorry, Liam.
Moenpar was one of the better ones for me. I thought Moenpar was, when he came in for Bentley, I was much preferred him in goal than Bentley. I thought Bentley was an accident waiting to happen at times. But I'm going to throw 2 names into the mix. I'm going to say Stefan Marinovic. Is it Marinovic? He signed on a free a couple of years ago. I think he played 1 game and then we released him. And I'm going to say Fabian Giefer as well. Sam, I don't know if you remember him. He came in when Johnson was there in his first season. German lad, we were on loan somewhere in Germany. Yeah. Terrible. I'd even throw a late David James in there as well.
Ooh,
he had a few planners in there when he played for us.
I would like to say as well, Max O'Leary is potentially getting into there, and I put Nikita Hiking in there as well.
Nikita Hiking. One of the worst I've seen down there. He was signed, labelled the next big thing from Denmark. The next Peter Schmeichel was Bo Anderson. I don't know if any of you can remember him. He come in, he was about 3 foot tall and was absolutely useless.
We've signed a few tough ones, haven't we? Do you remember Ivan Lucic as well?
Yeah, but that's the guy from Bayern Munich, wasn't it?
Yeah, he never played a game.
No.
Right. We'll let you watching then decide this, and then we'll build this up into the worst Bristol City 11 from the Championship era. Let us know in the comments which of those names you've heard that you definitely agree with. That'd be great. Thank you very much, you guys. Enjoy your trip to Coventry. Sam, you got your ticket for this one, I'm guessing?
Yes, mate. Yeah, I'll be there Saturday. In midweek, right. Sorry.
Okay, Ethan, you got your match, so you won't be there, I guess.
No, I'm there. I'm in Coventry.
Oh, you're in Coventry. Okay, gosh, right. You have to all meet up for a pint. Ben, you there?
I'm not there. No, not for midweek for me.
Okay, cool, no problems. And Liam, you doing this one?
Depends on the day. If they do pay on the day, I might be able to get up there in time for it.
Right.
That depends on work.
Right. Enjoy the game. We'll, of course, review it here next week. Join us in 7 days' time as we look at that and get thinking ahead for the worst striker that's ever played for Bristol City. And you're not allowed to say you're not allowed to say Fally Mayulu.
Got it.
Better one than Fally to come.
Yeah.
Right. Join us next week for that.